Please like, subscribe, and be sure to click that bell button for regular and exciting indie film content and your chance to be the first to engage with the Liftoff Global Network of Film Festivals as we embark on launching the careers of the filmmakers of tomorrow.
Hello everyone.
Hello.
Welcome.
I'm Carolyn.
I'm Lloyd, and welcome to today's funding livestream video.
Yes, this is called Fund Your Film, and this is for our Toronto Liftoff Festival.
Yeah.
But you'll find the information in the stream helpful even if you're not in Toronto.
So stay tuned for sure. A little bit of news from Liftoff is today we had an amazing script read through.
Yeah.
Something we do here, we host it in Pinewood. Filmmakers come with their scripts that they've put forwards, and we get a bunch of actors in. Today we actually read in, which was great fun, and we read through the script, give feedback, and it was an awesome day.
Yeah, really cool day. Then just yesterday, I believe it was, the Tokyo Festival winners were announced, and that was really exciting.
You tuned in, right?
Yeah, tuned in. A lot of the filmmakers who won were on the chat talking live, and it was just really fun.
That's cool.
Really exciting to see which films were highlighted, both from the jury, but then also from the audience votes. It was really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then, not to forget, we have our weekly roundup coming up later, which is audience votes of Toronto, and that's like the movement of this last week that's happened. So we'll just be catching you up with those votes and that movement.
Yeah.
Audience only.
Audience only. That stream will be at 4 o'clock, so
Yes,
come back
so check in.
after this one.
Yeah. Another little kind of bit of news, but also a shout out. It's just a big shout out to those that have put forward and submitted to our new pitching initiative. Something we have going on. Definitely check it out. Keep them coming in, and congratulations to everyone that's already on top of that and submitting through.
Keep sending us your treatment.
Yeah.
And when we have that workshop next week with all the treatments and talking about pitching, we're also going to talk about our professional membership and the opportunities that are available in that. So to kind of explain it, we're going to show you a video real quick.
Look at that. Enjoy.
Launch your career with Liftoff Professional Membership. For a yearly fee, you get the support to develop your ideas and get them exposed to a truly global audience. Membership includes free submissions to all Liftoff festivals and showcases, distribution for packaged projects where we will take your films and concepts to all of the major film markets, full production support. Liftoff will become your producer. Partner with the global network and let's work together to get your future projects funded, completed, and released. There's so much more to professional membership, and you can find out everything you need to know by going to liftoff.network/membership. Liftoff is the launchpad for filmmakers and their careers.
So, there you are. Go and jump in on professional membership.
Yes, if you're interested, go to those comments below this stream. You can click on a link to get all the information you need about joining our professional membership.
Loads of benefits.
Yeah.
And so, today, why are we here, right? For funding.
Yes.
Well, we're not giving you funding. That would be nice. But we're going to be talking about funding with some fantastic filmmakers.
Yeah, we're so excited to introduce you to these filmmakers. So we have Maria Cristal.
Yes, I
Is
believe
that
also.
right?
Yes.
Mello. Sorry if I said that wrong.
Maria Cristal Mello.
And with her film The Healer.
There's a poster just there.
Yes, a Toronto-based filmmaker. And then we have another Canadian filmmaking team. We are going to meet Etienne and also Marie-Pierre.
Nice. Very good.
With their film Des Larmes de Métal, Tears of Metal. So,
So nice.
let's meet them.
Shall we jump in
in
and
the
meet them?
flesh.
Enough of us, right? Let's get over to them on our Google call.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome. Good to have you here.
So, to get us started, let's go over to you first, Maria Cristal, and could you just introduce a bit about yourself and your film, and anything else you want to share so we can get to know you.
Yes. First of all, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited. I am a Toronto-based filmmaker and actor. So I've been doing acting for quite some time, for about 8 or 9 years. And just recently, about a year ago, I decided to write and produce my first short film. And I wanted to be kind of like thriller based, but I just didn't really know exactly where to start. And so I was part of a mentorship program, and it was like an online setting, and this person helped me to kind of figure out how to write my first script, how to put a crew together. So The Healer was technically, I guess you can say, a student film / an actual film as a filmmaker on my own. And I am part of ACTRA, so I am with the union. So there was a lot of things that I learned making this film, especially being a union member and also as a filmmaker. So The Healer is a thriller-based film about a social media cult leader, and it was very simple. I wanted it to be very small and very intimate. I didn't want too many people on set, especially since it was my first time. So after I did The Healer, I submitted to festivals, and I was very shocked with the feedback, and it actually got second selection at Sydney World Fest, which I'm really proud of and very excited.
Sweet.
And and now I'm currently working on another short film, which is actually a proof of concept to hopefully turn into like a 4-part miniseries. And it's in pre-production, so I have all the actors already cast, and it's called Homebound, which is set for production this August, and I'm very excited.
Nice. Awesome, dude.
Very, very
Super
cool.
exciting.
Very, very cool.
And I love the film, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, beautiful work. And now over to you, Etienne and Marie-Pierre.
Yes, hi. I'm Etienne. I'm the director of the film Launchpad, so Years of Metal here in the festival.
And my name is Marie-Pierre, and from right. So I joined the Launchpad halfway through the project, so I joined the team, which was Etienne. And since I've been working on a little bit of everything, by the end of the project, we sort of look at each other and be like, I need to be a co-producer. And so, we built this project with the two of us.
Awesome.
Co-producer and co-director too. So, the story behind the film basically is we're recent finishers of school. We just get out of the school, and it was the pandemic exploding exactly at this time.
Oof.
So there were kind of like a balancing time where studios and 3D animation and everything didn't really have to hurry up people. So we just were there in the living room, unable to move, and we just started a 3D animated project that evolved to a 16-minute long short film in animation shot on real footage. So here, this room is part of the film right now.
Nice.
So this is the backstory of the film. It was just a stunt created by the pandemic.
Nice.
That lasts for 15 minutes.
2 years of production.
It's
Awesome.
such a cool film. I like such a cool film. So their film is a part of the Toronto Festival right now. So go in and take a look at it. It's part of the local program, right? Right. Go watch it. Super, super cool. And Marie-Pierre, are you the actress at the beginning who...
Very cool.
Very cool. Yeah, live action with 3D animation on top of it. Oh, it's so cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Maria Cristal, is there somewhere we could watch your film, The Healer, at the moment?
The Healer, soon. I'm going to be uploading it to Vimeo. It's still
Awesome.
under festival selection pending, so I'm waiting to hear back with the selections. And
Sweet.
then after that, once I hear back from, I think the last one I'm going to hear back was in October.
Okay, cool.
So it's going to be on Vimeo soon, and I'll send a link
Nice.
to you guys, and then if you want to show it to everyone, I'll be very happy
Awesome,
to
awesome.
share it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great.
Cool.
And we'll keep our eyes all peeled, right?
I'm just gonna interrupt 1 second. We've got a couple of messages in the chat. So hello to David from Nigeria. Says they have an amazing film idea to pitch for funding. Very cool.
No, do it.
But then we have Helder Bada saying, hi, the sound is not good. So just to help with that, each time any of you talk, just get closer to your microphone. Okay?
Perfect.
That will help people here.
See if there's anything I can do this end.
Try that a little bit.
Try that.
Okay.
Let us know if anything improves
Yeah.
with that. So shall we jump into some more questions?
Yeah.
So I'm just check my notes here. Yes. So this one's a fun one. Bit of inspiration for filmmakers out there. Do you have any bizarre or interesting stories about securing some sort of funding for your films? Or do you have someone else's story that you might want to use?
I know a lot of friends, filmmakers that do a lot of crowdfunding, and I always wonder like how they do it. And I don't know how they do it, but I know like from a few of my friends, they just like, yeah, we got crowdfunding, and like, you know, people just kind of pitch and they, you know, put in the funds into their crowdfunding, and I'm like, how does that work? So I think those are like one of the funny experiences, but I haven't really experienced, because I'm just starting out as a filmmaker, but so far I haven't really experienced like any bizarre like stories. I think maybe the one that I did hear many years ago, there was an actor or like a filmmaker that I met where he had a friend, like a family friend that had like a lot of money, and they were just bored and they just wanted to like throw money away just to make a movie. But that was it.
Nice. Did they approach and ask this friend?
I should perhaps.
Yeah, right. But I guess it's that thing of if you never ask, it's always going to be a no, right? So,
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's fun. When you get private investors, I think it's a funny thing because it's like you don't like. I think I met one actor. Well, she's a filmmaker director, and I had a meeting with her once, like months ago. I think it was like about a year ago, and I was looking for like collaborations. And then she told me, she said, "Yeah, I managed to even get private investors." And I'm just like, "How did you do that?" So you know, it's fun. It's funny how people, you know, they can find like funny ways, like fun ways, safe ways to secure funding, which I think are funny stories to hear.
Yeah, totally.
It's interesting because for ourselves, it's basically the same thing where the main funds for the film, it's just coming out of your own pocket, right? It's basically only this. As we are starters in filmmaking and everything, all the game of looking for funds, it's a new game for us new filmmakers, right? So it's a new sport. But the funny thing is, what I found out when we started in Unlimited Years of Metal is here in Quebec, it's not the first time a 3D animated film is, you know, produced by very limited team and persons. But I think it's not that often that it's shot in real footage. But this is another subject. But this other film done in 2014, I think, it's called Le Gouffre, and it has a major success. And they started out their crowdfunding on Kickstarter, and it blew up completely. They gained so much. I don't remember the numbers because they're just too high. And when I saw this, I you know, I'm gonna do the same thing, but you know, the time has passed and people were used to see projects like this. So a funny thing is I discovered that there were a Kickstarter based in Quebec, for Quebec, only in Quebec, and I didn't know at that time, so it was kind of more like local transaction and everything.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. I found out more about my own living edited.
Right. Yeah. Nice.
That's so interesting. And I just want to make mention for both of you guys and anybody watching the stream, if you're here on our YouTube channel right now, when you're done watching this, go over to our section called Workshops. I think that's what it's called. And there is a crowdfunding workshop.
Yeah.
And it goes through a bunch of case studies of different films that some super successful, some successful but could have done better, what they did to get their funding. It's just a really, really insightful workshop on how to use Kickstarter. Because, yeah, it's kind of mind-blowing when you realize, this isn't just to get money from my family and friends. Actually, it's the opposite. It's about building a community and getting money from strangers.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. Shall we jump on to the next
Sounds
question?
like our sound is doing better, so thank you for leaning into your microphones.
Sweet.
Keep at it.
Thanks for keeping us updated on there too.
Yeah, thanks, Helder.
Do you want to jump in?
Yes. Where are we? Oh,
We are
okay.
here.
Thank you.
Alright.
So now we're going to go a little bit local for a second. And can you please talk about what are some of the key places that you've gone to for funding support? If you have any specific mentions for Toronto or Canada-based filmmakers, awesome. But so more on the local level now.
Yeah, so with my first film, Healer, which I want to give a shout out to the director, Umesh Siva, who wasn't able to come today. So he was the director, him and I worked on the film together. But as a beginning filmmaker like myself, usually you have to start something to show before you can secure funding. Especially in Toronto, you need to have a portfolio to kind of say, hey, these are the films that I've done.
Mhm.
It's kind of challenging to get funding when they don't see that you've done anything. As a filmmaker, you need to show proof what you've done in the past. So as of right now, I have been looking at other organizations, which there are Ontario Creates in Toronto, there's Toronto Arts Council, there's Belltop Media, there's so many other organizations that really do help support filmmakers. I haven't gone to those avenues yet because I'm still in the beginning stages.
Mhm.
But when I did The Healer, it was more of, I wouldn't say a completely student film, maybe it was, but it was a student film in a sense that it was my first time doing it and I was part of the mentorship program. So it was actually entirely, there was no budget in this actually. I reached out to a beginner DOP who was also in the same position as me, starting out like myself. And he was, passionate, and we just wanted to create a film. We wanted to have a portfolio to show first, and so in the future we could say, hey, this is what I've done, and if we ever do want to apply for funding, we do have something to show for it.
Yeah.
So I knew that I wouldn't reach out to a DOP who did Netflix or any huge big budget movie. They wouldn't do it on a voluntary basis. So I reached out to beginning filmmakers like myself that were hungry, and you'd be surprised how people out there want to show and build a portfolio, and they just want to get something out there so that way they can get paid work in the future. But yeah, those are the organizations that are currently in Toronto that have helped quite a lot of filmmakers, to get their projects to the next level.
Yeah.
And would you mind sharing the name of the mentorship program that you're a part of?
Oh my goodness, it was called the Producers Actors Blueprint, and his name was Oliver Ward. He's also an actor and a producer as well. He's done some really great things for companies and commercials. I think he did an animated series on Netflix. So he's been really experienced, and it was a very small group of people. It was just myself and 2 other filmmakers, and it was just an online program that I took last year, and it was really inspiring. I got a lot of support from him, and I didn't really have any other mentors that I could look up to that would have guided me. He was the only first person that I met that really helped me a lot and was very supportive.
Cool.
Super nice. It's really nice to hear, because I think not only for filmmaking, just generally making art, being an artist, we can quite easily jump to, it's so hard to get funding. I can't make my work, and you kind of stop at that point and don't make anything. And just hearing about the other aspects of being supported, being encouraged, finding people that have a passion, that will get things made regardless of funding, right? And you can build towards that point. So it's so nice to hear that, kind of for myself too. It's good. Thank you.
And
Absolutely.
and what about your team, Etienne?
Okay, so I'm going to try to be very close to the microphone. So we got pretty much 2 supporters to our project. So the first one was Jeune Volontaire, which would be the equivalent in English to voluntary volontariat, which is supported by the government. So pretty much the condition is that you have to be under 30 years old, and they support you no matter what your project is. It's not restricted to film producing. It can be any personal project that you'd like to accomplish, and they follow you for 1 year. Our project was 2 years, but still it really helped a lot for the first year. And we also subscribe to La Ruche, which is volunteering financing. So this is where you ask people, hey, can you contribute to finance my project? And yeah, we collect 5,000, yeah, 5,000.
Great.
And I think it's super interesting because Maria Cristal, you told how for funding, basically what you have to do normally is show off what you did in the past. But when you start, what do you show in the past? When you didn't have anything except like little homeworks in school, and you basically have to do. You have to start somewhere with nothing. So this is the big challenge. And yeah, to answer to your question, physically we didn't have really much to move ourselves to go somewhere because, well, pandemic. It was the curfew and the confinement and everything, so we were forced to manage anything from the inside.
Yeah, well, I guess that is some ways is funding in itself, right? You must have saved a lot in terms of the budget of location, because you didn't have to pay for your own room, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the way. The rent.
Rent. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I guess it's working both ways. Like, yes, finding funding, but also how can I make this affordable, right?
Yeah.
What are the other solutions?
Yeah, so for anyone maybe just joining the stream just now, some of these ideas, these local-based ideas, that really, I bet you can find very similar things in whatever community you're in the world, are Maria Cristal just talked about like mentorship programs and finding the people who will help you through the process, and then going to other filmmakers like DP or sound people who are entering at the same level you are, so that you are all building your portfolios together. And then our team with Etienne and Marie-Pierre were talking about how they found a program for under 30s that gave funding support, and then another program about basically in-kind support from other filmmakers and being a part of this network of getting help. So look in your areas for programs like this, not just the monetary funding, but
Yeah.
the
Nice.
in-kind support.
Nice little recap. Thanks for that. That's going to be a little gem for you Toronto-based filmmakers there. Zooming back out, though, we're going to jump in and just... Do you have... like, it doesn't have to be 3. It's loose rules here. But do you have, like, 3 key points that you feel have really helped you in either funding your film or getting your film made? Like, what in that journey, what's been the kind of 3-ish key areas?
Yeah, for me was simplifying the film. I wouldn't write, an hour, 45-minute script and thinking that it's going to be no budget. At that point, you really have to make it very simplified. So, for example, my short film initially was 18 minutes, but it got extended to like 14 minutes and 53 seconds. Just because of the creativity and other scenes that we found while we were filming that we wanted to add in. But it was all shot mostly in one location, which was actually shot in my house, in my bedroom, because based on the story of it, it was about an online cult leader, so it was perfect. And keep locations simplified, write something very simple, and limit your, I wouldn't say limit your cast, but I would say limit the amount of people that's involved. Sometimes I feel like when there's too many chefs in the kitchen, it can get very complicated. Unless you're organized and you're experienced and you have a budget, that's great. But when you're starting out, I like to limit, small cast, very, very limited crew. So I ended up playing different hats in the film. I did sound, I did art direction, I wrote, I produced, and I acted in it. And then my friend directed and edited, and he did lighting and he did everything. So we all did a bunch of things together. But it was easy in a sense that it was at my house, so there weren't that many complications. So I would say, keep it to one location, keep it a small cast, very limited crew, and also, again, going back to what I said before, reach out to people that are just coming out of school or people that really want to show a portfolio, you'd be surprised how many people want to get their portfolios together so that way they can go to the next step. And if you ever do find someone that is supportive and they do want to give you extra funding, that's great. But in this case, I had no support. Like it was just my parents that were like, yeah, we'll help you out. We'll give you food and we'll cook great meals for you guys. And he stayed at my place and for the weekend, and he was amazing. And we worked really well as a team together.
Wow.
I'm very grateful for that.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
Over to you guys.
On our side, for the funding part, so the core points for the funding part, what I did get out is to have no scruples. I think it's the word, scruples.
Scruples?
Yeah. When asking for fundings, even in crowdfunding or anything else, at the beginning I was like, oh, I don't want to bother people. I don't want to, knock on their door. But after a while, I realized that it's exactly what you need to do. You need to not harass people, obviously, but you need to get out of that comfort zone where we say to ourselves, oh, I don't want to disturb people and everything. So have less scruples than too much, And yes, the second thing about funding would be yes, we're all artists. We have our heads in the clouds and we see imageries and we hear sound and we're like, oh, I'm so inspired and everything. But the other part of the brain where we have to do paperwork and pay taxes and everything. And for the funding, it's sad, but it's the way to go. It's you have to be ready to do a lot of paperwork and do some kind of marketing online. Maybe it's not your thing really, doing online material and becoming slowly an influencer more than a filmmaker. But you have to go through this process at least to then dive into the project. That's a take or thing. And for the production of the film itself, the thing I try to keep telling myself is kill the baby. Kill the baby in the sense that you imagine something and it goes for 2 hours, but you're alone. You have $3 in your bank account. You have to cheat your way through, and you just gotta kill the content and turn corners around and keep the core and still making everything function, but you gotta kill the baby. So, yeah.
Nice.
That is some great advice.
Yeah.
Wait, what did you add?
Nice expression.
That's good.
That is awesome. Okay, so we are coming to the end of this little roundtable discussion on funding. So just to kind of wrap up, do you have any last bits of funding advice, last words of wisdom to any of the filmmakers who are out there watching?
I would I agree with Etienne, you have to keep going at it, for myself, it just kind of going to backtrack a little bit, but even though, there was no funding in this, it was strictly just, a passion project, but, I did actually have to do a lot of paperwork because, I am part of the union, so I'm with ACTRA, and most of the actors had to be ACTRA, so there was a lot of paperwork that had to be filled out, and it was set up in a profit sharing setup where even though we don't get paid a daily rate for it, but if it ever gets picked up for distribution, the funds get distributed evenly with all the actors and producers and directors if it does ever get picked up. So there was a lot of paperwork being signed with that, and then just COVID, making sure that we're following the protocols, and there was a lot of paperwork that had to be involved that ACTRA had to approve, make sure that everything was good to go, and I was very experienced with that. It was my first time doing that as a producer. But I would say with the advice is, just keep going at it. And I know it's difficult, but really try to simplify your idea so that way it can still be possible to do it with a very limited budget. Yeah.
Amazing.
Very cool.
Thank you.
That's so true, especially for students that just get out of the school. We always over ambition our projects. It's always way too much. and we can't say it enough. You gotta reduce. Especially at the beginning where you basically have nothing. My super advice would be to get into it, and the thing is, we talked a bit early on, but you have to prove a point to later on get some support and everything. But you have to get to that point, right? You have to do everything with nothing. And to do this, you don't have the choice. You just have to suffer and to cheat. Especially in VFX and animation, you can, but in filmmaking too, you can just cheat your way around. You can use sounds, shadows in corners, and suggest things that don't really appear on screen. Every cheating that still holds up is welcome to easy the process throughout the film.
Yeah, nice.
So yeah, to finish, I think the main thing, Maria already said it, is to simplify. We think big, we want explosion, magical, and actors and being at the top of the Mount Everest, but we have to cut to what is realistic, what is possible.
Nice. Nice.
I would just add,
yeah.
Know your strength and weakness. It just made me thought a bit. We are animators and compositors, lighting artists, and everything, but we're not really FX artists like fire, dust, water, simulation effects. So in our films, the focus is not on these things. You have to know what you're good at and what you can emphasize on, and just focus on that.
Yeah, nice.
Wow, that's a really good point. That, especially early on as we're building that portfolio, our career, that our work is like our calling card. So make that calling card something that you're great at instead of the things you want to be great at later on, but maybe need more time. That's a really, really good tip.
Super nice. It's reminding me the idea of playing the long game, right? Like, know what you're good at, simplify, and know that at some point people will start supporting that. And then maybe you can add the explosions and you can go to the top of Everest and stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's super cool.
And I just want to add, always remember whose film you acted in for free.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, and
That's why I was in your film for free, 5 years ago.
Right, yeah.
The amount of projects I was in your film for free.
Yeah.
yeah, and what a great team of people you're going to be building, that you guys are all progressing through the industry together, and you'll be buddies and teammates still
Right.
when you're all making the money you want to be making.
That's true. That's true. So that's kind of the end.
Yeah.
Sad. I'm having a really good time.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been super inspiring, super useful. Yeah.
So we will hope to cross paths soon, and we'll go ahead and end this part of the stream, and then we've got a few more things to say to the rest of our viewers.
We're actually going to just throw up a couple of your stills after you've gone. So.
Yeah, we're going to show a glimpse of what your films look like. So, dun, dun, dun.
So thank you guys.
Thanks.
I'll see you. So, there we are. Back to it. I'm going to hide that for you.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone that joined us. And we're gonna just throw up a couple of the stills from the filmmakers we just saw. If I scroll down here, so we have here is from the, how do you say it in French?
Des larmes de métal.
There we go.
That was real bad. Sorry, my French friends
Tears
watching.
of Metal, right?
Yeah, Tears of Metal.
And you can see their wonderful animation on the screen.
And there's Marie Pierre. That's her. There.
Oh, is it?
Acting,
Okay,
yes.
amazing.
Yeah.
And then we have a still here from The Healer.
And that's also Maria Cristal.
Maria Cristal. And yeah, you see her right there. It's wonderful. Yeah, it was really beautiful work, and it's so nice to have them on the stream. So thanks everyone who came. I hope it's been inspiring. It has for me.
Yeah, been really cool.
It's been super nice.
So don't forget to join us again at 4 o'clock for the weekly roundup, because you're going to find out where the movement's been happening in this first week of the festival, which films have been getting a lot of audience views. Because remember, there's two parts of this festival. There is the audience views. Those are votes that come in. But there's also the judges' ratings. Two different parts going on at the same time that we want to pull attention to.
Yeah. So let's call it that. Play the long game, and
Yeah.
go get your films made.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys. We'll see you next
Bye.
time. Bye bye.